Okay. Hi, Chris Merkel. I'm Mandy Congleton. I'm here interviewing for your new PT position. I'm really excited to be here. I heard it's the number two neuro rehab hospital in the country, so I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in. So first things first, tell me about yourself.
So I grew up 20 minutes outside of Boston, obviously surrounded by a ton of the medical field in the city. I went to school at Ithaca College in upstate New York, did their DPT program. I was there for 6 years. I got started in physical therapy, or my interest started when I was in high school. I was on the volleyball team, and I landed the wrong way and I tore my ACL. And I was in PT for about 6 months, and even though my volleyball career was over, I found like a love for PT, and it was actually my therapist was from Ithaca, so it was kind of cool how it came full circle. And yeah, now I'm here, and in my free time, I go for a lot of runs. It's good stress reliever for me, and I love being by the ocean and by the city, so that's great because this location is close to both.
Awesome. So tell me some of your strengths and weaknesses.
So, as a recent grad, I would say some of my strengths are I'm very updated on the most recent research. Our professors really had us involved in a lot of research studies and projects and classes. So, we're always on different websites and involved in different types of research, working with different types of new technology. So, I think that's a big advantage that I have. Another strength that I have, just growing up outside of PT, did a lot of leadership roles and team roles. Playing volleyball, I was the captain my senior year. I work for catering, so we do like a lot of coordinated events. So I've always been exposed to a team atmosphere, and that's what I really like about inpatient and hospitals is PTs don't just work with each other and in competition with each other. We're working with OT, speech path, nurses, doctors. It's a great team environment. At the school, at Ithaca, I was asked to TA for a few classes. I was asked to be part of a research study with my aquatics professor. So we started a year earlier than most PT students started their research. So that was great. I think I've gotten a lot of good public speaking skills from that, and just working alongside different professors and different students of different ages and patients and just everyday people that are all interested in physical therapy. And one thing that I really took away from all four of my clinicals was my CI said that I took feedback really well. So I wasn't defensive, and I was able to, really implement what they were saying because I really love to learn from people.
Awesome.
Some of my weaknesses, sorry. So I definitely lack clinical expertise. I've done my clinical rotations, but I believe that clinical expertise is just as important as being fresh out of school and looking at textbooks. I think I really want to gain that and hopefully learn from others what they have to say. Another thing that I really want to improve, or that I'm always improving, is my body language. It's something that's harder to be aware of. For example, I know I cross my arms a lot when I'm cold, but I know that that can give off a different impression to a patient or someone who I'm talking to. So I'm always trying to be aware of that.
Cool. So what interests you about this job?
So it's funny because going into physical therapy, I always thought I would want to be an outpatient and work with athletes because that's where I went into it, was working. I was an athlete. And after classes, after clinicals, just being exposed and shadowing different people, I really, really loved inpatient. And for this one specifically, I love what you're offering in your program. I think the rotations in 4 different departments of neuro is really great. It's really great exposure. The fact that you have, I think it said, I looked it up, at least 7 staff members were ABPTS, neurogenic certified specialists. I think that's a great opportunity for me to learn from them. And the leadership opportunities that you give us as a TA, as a lab assistant, and as a public speaker for other PT students that we get to go out and do that. I think that's great. and it really helps us apply what we are learning. And the research opportunities, of course, I think are great to partake and work alongside neuro specialists and professionals. I think that's really awesome.
Awesome. So, what experiences have prepared you for this job?
So I had it says in my curriculum, but the 3 8-week clinicals and 1 12-week. My first one was in a skilled nursing facility outside of Boston, close to my house. It was called Life Care Center of Neshoba Valley, and I got really great exposure there. My CI was wound care certified, so I saw, all different types of wounds, and that's when it really started because I didn't think that I'd be interested in that. So that was cool. They had a dementia wing unit, so that was my first real exposure to different types of neuro, and they also had a ton of spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury patients, and I was young, I didn't know a lot, but I still loved what I was doing, even though I didn't always know the reason behind it. So that really helped me. Another thing I did was I took an inpatient course that one of our professors offers, and there's only 9 people in it. And it was just about everything inpatient. So we learned about what the different meds mean, the lines, how to deal with them, how to manage your patient and all their comorbidities. And we got to shadow, I think I mentioned this, but I shadowed another one of my professors who worked at Cayuga Medical Center that's a few minutes away from Ithaca. And that was a great experience for me that I got to see so much that day. It was only a few hours, and that really sparked my interest. So I have that as well.
Awesome. So, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
So hopefully working here. I really like the area. My parents just moved to New York City, and I looked it up. I think that's only 13 miles from here. I just got a place for myself, so I'm hoping to stay in the area. And as for inpatient, I'm hoping to continue working with inpatient. My friend's grandmother actually just retired as a PT, and she said that one of the most thrilling things for her was inpatient. She thinks it's a great place for new grads to start. So I really hope that I get this opportunity and I'm able to stay here for a while and get this exposure.
Perfect. So, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do. I think it's a great facility. It seems very impressive. A few things I did want to know was, do PTs do co-treatment hours with other medical professionals during evaluations such as OT or speech path or nursing? What is a typical caseload for a new grad versus a seasoned PT? And what is Kessler's vision for the future physical therapy for neuro patients? If you have a business card, I would love to grab it. And I think I was supposed to say this at the beginning, but I chose the Kessler Neuro Hospital for mine. Sorry.
That works.